Hi everybody, welcome to Module 2. Before starting this, I started by going through the step for the Engineering by Design of Imagine. So I wanted to develop a way to reduce runoff, so I decided I was going to be natural and use plants and rocks in my design. After looking at the erosion bottles and the water, the interactive watershed, I decided that I was going to use soda bottles, and I cut my soda bottles, and I did a little different. I cut my soda bottles and I tied it with a string, and I cut out a window at the top, and I used soil mulch, and rocks, and then I used soil and grass on my bottle. So that was my initial plan. And you can see here that I created my 3 bottles, and I have rocks, or my soil, my rocks and soil and mulch, and then my roots and grass in my 3rd bottle. So then it came time to test my models, and when I poured the water in, I just kind of waited for a little bit to see what would happen. And in my first bottle, it quickly became muddy, and you can see the water is very, very dirty. In my second bottle, it took a little longer for the water to get through, and I think that was because of some of the rocks and possibly the mulch absorbing it. When it did get through, it was still dirty. It was cleaner than my first bottle, but it was definitely dirty. It had larger chunks of mulch in it that I wasn't expecting. In my 3rd bottle, which was the roots and grass bottle, the water was much clearer. It was still dirty, but it was clearer. I do wonder, if I would use this with my students, taking the time to actually plant the seeds and have the grass grow, I do think there would be an impact in what your results would be. So the next generation standard that I felt tied to this project is compare multiple solutions designs to slow or prevent wind or water from changing the shape of the land, specifically different designs using grass and trees to hold back the land. And I feel like this activity really helped. You had to hold back the land so that it didn't get mixed in with the water runoff. And the nice part about this is how it is broken down. It tells you exactly how it ties into the Common Core standards, how it ties into the math standards, how it ties into different cross-cutting standards. When looking at my STEM practices, there were some areas that I felt were really strong in this lesson. Some areas that I questioned, and if it wasn't for this next gen standards that I found, I don't know if I would have initially selected, for example, the use of technology, the way that it was there. But it definitely, we were asking questions, we were defining problems, we were creating models. You had to plan and carry out the investigation. We had to design solutions, and then through this part with our screencast, we had to evaluate and communicate the information. The using of the technology, like I said, I wasn't 100% sure at first when I was reflecting on it, but after seeing it in the next gen, it's oh yes, it's there. So all in all, that was my lesson. Thanks.